Hey Pisces, welcome back, guys. I'm going to be doing your general read for the beginning of May, and we're going to be doing something a little different this time. This time we're going to be looking at your past life, and we're going to look at your future life and see how much different it is. You know what I mean? Because they say a lot of times our past lives follow us into our present lives or our near future. So I did do some meditating for both, and I'm going to tell you what I got so far. I got that somebody here in a past life, I feel like could have been a feminine energy. I'm getting that this energy had to possibly, when something went wrong, whether it was with a family member or just somebody you worked with or whatever, I feel like someone here had to be the bigger person to be able to smooth things over, to basically reconcile a situation. I feel like you may have always had to be the ones, to have forgiveness. You're the one that had to get the ball rolling, in other words. I feel like this energy in the past was very smart, very, very intelligent. But I feel like in the past, somebody here is one that didn't let dead dogs lie very long. And what I'm also getting is this could be... we can both take on masculine and feminine energies for one thing, but I feel like this can be as well for people that are transgender as well, where somebody here may not feel, right in their present body now. And it could be because in their past life, they were feminine, you know what I mean? So for your near future, I'm getting that someone here is possibly, they could be right now or in the near future here going through a lot of pain. I feel like somebody here could feel like they have to handle a lot of things on their own. They don't have anybody they can really confide in. I feel like in the near future, I feel like things are going to be changing a lot for you, Pisces. I feel like you could become your own business owner. I feel like you could be coming up with incentives, for a job so that somebody here would want to work possibly more hours or longer days. And I feel like this Pisces that we're dealing with could be a masculine energy. I feel like this Pisces is going to have a victory when it comes to love. You know what I mean? I'm talking romance, rose petal baths, the whole 9 yards. I feel like this energy could wear their hair in a ponytail a lot, so they could have long hair. And I'm also getting that something with being on time. So maybe in the past, maybe time was, being on time for things was a problem. For the future, they won't be a problem. I feel like you're going to have something come in. It's going to be kind of like a spring fling coming in. It's going to be something new. It's not going to be with somebody that you've been with before. So this could be either a feminine from the past taking on their masculine in the future. This could be transgender, or this could be, a feminine here taking on their masculine energy. So for your past life, you had calm your living coming in. So calm your living is when, back in the day where grandmothers and aunts and uncles and fathers and mothers, they all lived underneath one roof. So somebody here in their past life may have been accustomed to that kind of life, So we're going to read up on this Calm Your Living card a little bit because I hardly use these cards. So it says the lifetime significant to your question involving a communal setting such as a convent, a monastery, or a tribe. Your earthly needs for shelter, clothing, and food were provided for. Although you held a job within the community, you fulfilled your responsibilities for the group and not for individual gain. It says, in your current lifetime, you may feel troubled by the concept of money, individual earnings, savings, and bills. You may feel unsupported because your soul is accustomed to having a community support system. So somebody here might have gotten used to that, and now in the present life, it's not the same anymore. It says to find the balance and harmony between individual and group needs, between give and take, understand how you fit into the culture and how the group can help you achieve your individual goals and inspirations, and further your spiritual growth. And remember, no man or woman is an island. That's right. Can't do everything, right? So we're gonna see if we can get a few cards on this past life card, and then we'll go to your near future card and see what's in store for you. So just figured we'd do a little bit something different. And there's a lot of folks out there that are, interested in, what kind of a past life that they had. A lot of people in this life will experience deja vus that will give them memories, to places that they may have never been in this life, but they could have been in their past life. So I just figured I would check it out and see what comes in. So the overall energy here is patience coming in. So someone here needs to temper their emotions. Have patience with the situation. So what is coming in for Pisces for past life? Past life for Pisces. Saying here in the past life that that's kind of what I was getting here, that I feel like you're the one that had to come forth and work on things. We have the Knight of Cups coming in, so your energy's coming in, showing you that you're praying in some sort of altar here, where you're making some sort of offering. And I feel like this is at a time when you came in your life, in your past life here, that you could had family poking at you, and I feel like somebody here felt like they had to be on guard at all times here. I feel like you could have been dealing with somebody here that had wish fulfillment, you know what I mean? And they could have asked you to cover for them or do something for them in the past life, but which could have put you, I feel like, in a kind of a mess. Like, say if you had a sibling. I don't want to show up, or I want to be, I'm going to be late coming in today. Can you make up an excuse for me? You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of times you felt like you were the fallback person. You're the one that you took cover, to keep the peace here, but you also basically got yourself in hot water here in the past as well with this Knight of Cups, because you do have the Seven of Swords coming in. So somebody here, was sneaky here in their past life when it came to wish fulfillment. And maybe this is why I'm getting the being on time cards. Maybe someone here in their past life maybe covered for a lot of other siblings, or you could have even done this for yourself. You wanted to be out having fun and doing what you wanted to do, fulfilling your wishes, besides, going to work every day and doing the same mundane thing. And this could have got you in hot water as well here in the past. Yeah, I feel like you had to temper your emotions a lot here in the past, Pisces, when it came to working on conflict. And I feel like this is something else that you possibly maybe come down on yourself hard about in the past life here, because you'd rather be out doing, things that are fun, with that star coming in. You felt like that, maybe you had to sneak around. You may have been late getting to things or going places or whatever in order to have some sort of enjoyment in life in your past life. Yeah. And I feel like you could have had, you possibly could have had family that expected a lot out of you too. Everybody was contributing, so maybe someone here that may have not been on time in a past life could have had loss of wages. You know what I mean? When your family here, depended on you. So you possibly felt really guilty here in a past life about possibly taking time out for yourself, being committed to your, being committed to yourself here. You felt guilty about the times that you may have took in the past, for your own enjoyment. I feel like this could have created a lot of anxiety for you as to what you were, what you actually committed yourself, or at that time in your past life, what your siblings and what you were committed to anyway. You know what I mean? It created a lot of anxiety here that you couldn't. This could be even back in the past. Kids started working at a young age. They didn't have like labor laws like they do now. You know what I mean? So kids a lot of times were real young when they started working. They didn't really have much of a childhood. I feel like you wanted to, in the past, you just wanted to move on from all this anxiety, and possibly being in one house, having different views, different ways of doing things. You may have come down, you may have been felt guilty for that, or someone in your commune living that you live with could have made you feel guilty about this. I feel like a lot of times here you could have moved on from possibly trying to get people to see your side of the story here, and you possibly had to leave a lot of situations, so there was a lot of missed opportunities, I feel like. So anything else for Pisces for a past life? Past life. Well, yeah. Oh. Yeah, and I feel like here in a past life, Pisces, there could have been a lot of missed opportunities, for being able to do things where you guys all had to work underneath the same roof. I feel like you could have had possibly a mother and father here, possibly, that weren't around a lot. You know what I mean? They weren't a part of your life a lot, and it's because they could have traveled for work. You could have had a father figure here that wasn't a part of your life in the past. You know what I mean? Whether it had to do with work or just you could have had a father that passed away, or something happened, so that your mother in the past here had to take on both positions, or father or mother here. They had to take on sole provider here in the past, because I feel like somebody here ghosted possibly a situation here. Back in those days, I don't know if back in the commune living days, I don't know if they had wars or whatever. That might be something that you might want to look at. But I feel like something here happened to a father figure, and it left the mother here having to go out and earn possibly a living. So you didn't have that. You didn't have that nurturing. You didn't have that guidance, in a past life. So we have an Empress here, we have the Hermit, and we have the King of Pentacles. So I feel like somebody here in the past life was, they weren't in the picture here. So it left someone here having to go out and basically not have much time with their children here in the past, which it created a lot of missed opportunities as well. Somebody here could have been juggling a lot, without the absence, having the absence of the other parent. Somebody here had to keep balance within this commune living. They had to keep balancing things out, earning enough money to be able to buy food and survive. So we're going to take a look at your future card that you got coming in. Is we got trust. Trust your feelings and dreams to guide your career path. So someone here needs to trust, and I know that Pisces is very intuitive, so I feel like Spirit is saying to trust that you have you have the courage and strength to stand on your own 2 feet. You have the courage and the strength in the near future to know that your wings will hold you. So we're going to read up a little bit on this card here for the near future. Trust. Yeah, it says the angel sent you this card as a validation that your feelings are trustworthy guides as you inspired to make healthy life changes. Your dreams and desires are clues to your life purpose. As your soul calls out to you through the language of feelings, if you're discontent in any situation, trust these feelings. If you're excited about the prospect of, for example, and it's so funny because it kind of goes with the cards that I meditated on, is returning to school or opening your own business. Trust these feelings. If your gut is warning you about a certain person in your life, trust those feelings. It says the first step is to notice your feelings. You do so by creating some quiet time alone, where you can talk with yourself, ask yourself questions like, what do I really want and what is the best for my life purpose? And then notice the physical and emotional feelings that come in response. Your feelings are the physical embodiment of heaven's guidance for you. Trust in their validity even if you don't understand them or feel certain about what they mean. So you need to just trust your intuition. This is what Spirit's saying for the near future. I feel like you got changes coming in for you, and you just need to trust in that. So I'm gonna get some cards here for your near future and see what comes in with this, Pisces. If you guys like these readings this way, give me a thumbs up so I know, and maybe we can incorporate them into the monthly readings. All right, what's coming in for Pisces for the near future? Says that you got an idea. You got an idea going on here with this Two of Pentacles. So you could be trying to decide what you want to do to have positive movement forward. I feel like this could be, having all these options in the near future, Pisces, could create some confusion for you. And you may have to go through, a little transformation, whether you have to go back to school, whatever you have to do, get some, extra courses in, just to, have that death and rebirth in the near future. Yeah, I feel like you're going to have strength here to know that, like I said, to know that your wings are going to be able to carry you to something better in the near future. Right now, you're just juggling. What do I want? What do I want to do with my life? I feel like you're ready to put any kind of burdens that you may be having down. But right now, you're just trying to figure out, what's going to be best for you. What is in the near future for Pisces? Near future for Pisces. Yeah, you got the new beginning coming right back out again. You definitely got a new beginning. Now you could be reconciling with someone, or you could just be making a judgment call here about love. I feel like that possibly in the love department here, Pisces, you haven't had a whole lot of luck. You know what I mean? You've had a lot of hurt though. You've had to walk away from a lot of situations that didn't serve you. Even when it came to family, I'm feeling. Yeah. I feel like there's going to be some sort of communication with someone here that's resting and recovering, whether this is you or somebody else that you're dealing with. Before this new love comes in, or even a past love here. But someone here is I feel like is trying to make a judgment call about this. Do I want this in my life right now? Can I handle the situation? Am I ready? Have I healed enough to be able to open my heart chakra? I feel like this is where Spirit is saying it's time to trust, in all aspects of your life. Yeah, you could be juggling an idea here of whether or not to take some sort of action. And it could be towards the fire sign that you're dealing with. Yeah, you want a victory. You got the Queen of Swords, the King of Wands, your energy, the High Priestess, and the Six of Wands. So you could have choices between two here as well. And with a new beginning. And you want a victory with this. So what else for Pisces for the near future? I feel like you could be dealing with a young fire sign. This energy could be younger than you. They may be keeping themselves mentally trapped about this situation. Yeah, I feel like someone here has gone through some sort of betrayal. Could be a twin flame. And they're keeping themselves wounded and guarded. So I feel like this energy is only coming in with a small offer. With the Page of Pentacles here. And I feel like it's because this energy is keeping themselves mentally trapped. I feel like somebody here could suffer from anxiety, where they may just keep going over and over in their head like a recorder. You know what I mean? So you could be dealing with someone that's younger than you. They do have wish fulfillment. They could enjoy going out and doing things, and maybe you do too. They could be quite active, with that, and they like to go out and I feel like experience new things as well. Yeah, you could have two choices as well between an air sign and a fire sign. Yeah, I feel like you're gonna speak your truth here, Pisces, on about a commitment. What you expect, what you want for a commitment, what you expect, to have growth. Whether this is commitment is. Don't have to be marriage. Maybe you don't want to be married. Maybe you want to have a live-in situation for a while to see how things are going to go, especially if you've already experienced a lot of missed opportunities with relationships before. So I feel like you're gonna open up and speak your truth here about what sort of commitment you want, because I feel like you want to build this commitment on solid ground, Pisces. Whereas before you may have jumped into stuff and it things didn't last long. Cycles ended. I feel like you really want, what you want this time. Before you take that leap of faith, you're going to work on things. You're going to make sure that both parties involved are on the same page. You're going to work on something here. I feel like you're going to take your time. You're not going to jump in with both feet. Is what I'm getting with this. So what else for Pisces for the near future? What else for Pisces for the near future? Anything else? Yep. Yeah, I feel like Spirit is saying here, Pisces, you got something coming in. You're going to have two choices. You're going to have either an air sign or a fire sign here. And I feel like this fire sign could be feeling burdened. This is what I feel like. Someone here, may feel like because you're older than them, that you won't like the same things that they like to do, or, you may think they're too young or they're too immature to possibly have, some sort of commitment with them. This energy is coming in feeling burdened already. And I feel like Spirit is saying you're not going to see something coming here. So I feel like this is really important for you to take your time with these energies, whoever you could be dating, or whatever here. But one of these energies that's coming in that's feeling wounded and guarded here is going to come off being sneaky, with you. You might catch them in a lie. You might feel like they're only telling half truths. And I feel like this is why Spirit is saying take your time. Trust in your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, then it's probably not right, right? Yeah, so there's someone that's going to come in that's going to be kind of sneaky with you. And this energy, could be looking at progress here with a commitment with you, but they could be in a third-party situation. They could be not healed from something, or they could be where they're trying to be sneaky. Whatever they're doing here could create a lot of pain for you when it comes to a commitment. And your energy's coming right in with the Queen of Cups. So I feel like Spirit is telling you to listen to your gut feeling, because you're not going to see something coming. Like I said, you could be dealing with two different energies here, and one of them is feeling burdened. So we have the Moon, the Nine of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Hierophant coming in. So this is where you need to trust yourself. This energy that's being sneaky with you could have just actually moved on from something. They haven't been, whatever they moved on from hasn't been, very long. They just moved away from something. So this energy that's unhealed is coming in, and they're coming off sneaky. They could be putting you in a third-party situation with three people here. And it's because they may have not, either they're still in a relationship and they're not telling you, or they still got an energetic tie to this person. So they could put you in a third-party situation. And you're coming in taking on your masculine energy here. So, you could be a business owner, a boss, or whatever here. This could be to do with work as well. So let's see if Spirit has any advice for you. And then we'll close this reading up, yeah. So. Any advice from Spirit for Pisces? Any advice? Anything? Okay. Okie dokie here. Yeah, I feel like you got somebody coming in here that's not healed yet, Pisces. You could be dealing with a Capricorn, or you could be dealing with an air sign that has Capricorn in their chart. So somebody here isn't healed. They could be, keeping themselves mentally trapped over a situation here. And I feel like you're trying to temper your emotions here. This energy could be live at a distance from you. Could be another state or another country here. So I feel like you're trying to temper your emotions. You're trying to hold back, I feel like, from getting too emotionally involved too quick. That's what I'm getting with this. You're trying to temper those emotions. Take that time to get to know this energy that's coming in. And so you're going to be holding back. You're not going to be jumping in with both feet here, I feel like. Because this energy that's coming in, they could be older than you, and they could live at a distance. They could be a business owner. They could be quite stern and stubborn here. But I feel like somebody here is trying to work on balancing things out here. I feel like somebody here is still going through, like I said, somebody here is still healing from something. So they're working on trying to balance things out. It's because there was some sort of betrayal here with the Ten of Swords. So somebody here is still healing. So I feel like it's important that you're not jumping in with both feet with this situation. Because this energy is still feeling mentally trapped. We have the Eight of Swords, the Page of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Eight of Pentacles. So you're kind of holding back on this energy, because I feel like you can see that this energy You know, they may be telling you, I just got over a relationship, and you know that, you know, it takes time to heal. So I feel like you're going to be holding back on this energy until you take your time and get to know this person to make sure that they're actually, you know, if they can actually get over this enough, heal enough so that they trust enough in you to confide in you, and you trust them enough to know that, you know, they're healed enough. So I feel like friendship may be starting out here first, because this energy is coming in. There's a lot of indecision on their part, you know, and I feel like even though you would like positive movement forward here, you know, positive, you know, as quick as we can, right? I feel like you're still going to hold back this, because you know that by jumping in and not taking your time could result in, you know, a heartbreak here. Yeah, because this energy that lives far from you, they need to make a lot of decisions in their life here, what they want. If they're actually gonna, you know, they could be telling you, I ain't never going back to this person, but you know, that's the pain talking, right? You know that this person has to have time to heal. And they could be trying to still get balance with three people. This could be, you know, collaborating and working together as a team. This could be courts. Things could need to be, you know, separated, this, that, and the other. So somebody here is just going through the works, I feel like, when they come in and you meet them. Yeah, I feel like you're just going to be looking at progress with this situation, because you can see that this energy is really hurt. You know, they've gone through a lot, and they could be feeling, you know, really confused here, especially about being on their own, you know, having to handle things on their own. That someone here is going through a lot of burdens on their own. They feel like they got to take the world, you know, on by themselves. This could be you as well, you know. So I feel like Spirit says that by you holding back, you're doing the right thing here, Pisces. You're making the right moves when it comes to this energy coming in, because you know, when people aren't healed, that's usually when someone else gets a shaft, right? So we're going to get you some towels out, see what's coming in for you, and then we're going to close this reading. So first letter you got is a letter E, number 1 coming in. So somebody with an E in the name. Ernie, Eric, somebody with an E in their name. You've also got the letter L coming in, number 1. Larry, Lucy, Lonnie, I don't know. Liam, Luke, somebody with an L in their name. You've also got, let's see here. We got brother coming in. So somebody here could be dealing with family. We got brother coming in. We've got love coming in with a heart. You got get out in nature and get grounded. Get out in nature and get grounded. We've got health. So somebody here could be trying to make better choices for their health. We've also got sugar daddy coming in. So someone that's financially stable. We got the letter D coming in. So Danny, Donnie, somebody with a D in their name. Delina. And we've also got the letter A coming in. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. If it resonates, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you folks later.